literally am going to stab myself in the face.
Let me help you. Live from Studio Cornbread.
Welcome to the Cacklin Cornbread podcast. I'm Rachel.
I'm Sherry.
You don't have
why
any...
am I pointing
I don't
at myself?
know. Do you have something weird to say this time?
I never have weird stuff to say.
Okay. Okay, hold on a second. I want to let everybody know our stickers came in. Look at us. We're cool. If you want to be cool like us and have a Cacklin Cornbread sticker, let us know and we'll try to mail it to you or meet up with you or something.
I think you just said I'm cool. You said we.
Edit that out. Guess what? I gave Andrew and Wayne one of those stickers. They took them to school. Well, Andrew took his to school. And do you want to know what he did in his free time today? He looked up our podcast on YouTube and my child watched our podcast.
That's so sweet. Oh gosh, I bet he thinks we're stupid.
He's like, I don't really know what y'all are talking about. I'm like, same, dude, same. So, anyway, Sherry boosted our first episode.
I don't know why. I just got all hyped up.
She's got more money than she's got sense, if we're being honest.
That is... You have to edit that out. You don't say stuff like that.
Oh, it's true. $30 on Candy Crush. $20 on boosting our post. So, in the last week, you've spent $50 on essentially nothing.
It's true.
And would you like to know the engagement that we got from our boosted post?
It was bad.
We got real bad messages from guys saying, I need a girlfriend. Can I have your phone number?
Well, we told him, block.
Who knew Sherry even could do that? She's been blocking people. I was pretty shocked.
I block lots of people. But I don't ever know any of them.
Oh, I was about to say, we should go through our block list one day.
All mine has more vowels than they have consonants, mostly.
They have good vowel sounds. Inside joke, sorry. Edit that out. My block, you would get a lot of tea from my block list. A lot of tea from my block list. Anyway.
I ain't got no tea.
No, Sherry's pretty boring when it comes to tea. What was I saying? Oh, we did get a very nice comment from Sherry's cousin, Tammy Lynn, that lives in California. Thank you, Tammy Lynn. She said this is currently the most entertaining thing on the internet. We also got a nice comment from a stranger named John that said, very interesting and kind of funny. Which I feel like is pretty good.
That's pretty good from a stranger and a guy.
So, anyway. All right, Sherry, you got something to tell me?
Okay. I want to tell you the definition of enemy. Because you think I have lots of enemies.
I did not say that.
You think I have enemies and you know it, and I don't.
Great. Let's preface this story. Okay, one, if you're going to listen to this podcast, you need to know that Sherry thinks that everyone can read her mind and that we know what she's talking about when she starts a conversation in the middle.
What's the problem?
Anyway, so Sherry's uncle, who also looks exactly like her dead uncle.
He had a stroke this weekend. I'm not kidding. That's what made me think of it.
We're going to have to edit this part out. So, all of Sherry's uncles look, well, I don't think they all look the same because I don't feel like your dad and your uncle look the same. But nonetheless, Sherry's uncle, who looks like her dead uncle, came to visit her.
His brother.
Yeah, his brother came to visit, and he walked up and knocked on the door, and I was like, I literally felt like I had seen a ghost. So I continued to sit on the couch, and Sherry's like, well, what's he doing here?
He said, huh. I said, I don't think I have any enemies. And I said, okay. I said, I don't think I have any enemies, so it didn't matter. He goes, huh. like he was getting choked on something and points at me and goes, you got enemies. And smiles like he knew something I didn't know. I said, well, I don't care. I love him anyway. But
Which is the most Sherry Porterfield answer I've ever heard to anything.
But who cares? I don't care about their opinion. If
That's right.
Whatever.
We do. We're the Cacklin Cornbread. We don't care. We don't care if you like us or not.
If you don't like us, keep scrolling. It's okay.
All right.
On. So
what's the definition of enemy?
Yes, I looked up enemy to see if I have any enemies.
Because obviously this has not bothered Sherry at all.
Oh, no, I really don't care. But then I thought, maybe I do. But shut up.
We don't say shut up.
All right. An enemy is a person who is actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. I really don't think I have an enemy.
Actively
opposed or hostile. I'm sure I have people that's opposed, but hostile? No.
Well, and are they actively? Like, how are you active? Like, okay, there's nobody protesting outside of the house here saying the Cacklin Cornbread's stupid. I mean, I feel like that's what it means to be actively opposed. Or like somebody commenting on here saying, this is stupid. Or like reporting our stuff.
I still wouldn't even call them an enemy. But a thing that harms or weakens something else, now that is an enemy. I don't think I have any enemies. Do you?
Do you want a crown? Yes, I have enemies. I know I do. Do you not remember? I stole some kid's trophy and hid it.
You think she's hostile and still wanting to come at you today?
She's probably not, but I know I have enemies.
I know you have one, but she deserves it. Who else is it?
Ooh. Oh. No, I'm sure I have lots of enemies.
I do not think so.
I am an enemy to a lot of people.
Who? Name one.
I don't know that it's appropriate on this podcast.
Here.
You know, there's certain people in my current or past life that you can just mention their name.
Your past life? You've been dead?
No, you know, my past. That you can mention that they just get me mad from head. There's people that you can mention that if I just think about them, I get mad and I'm ready to fight them.
Oh, so they are your enemy.
Or am I their enemy?
Well, if you're the one getting hostile, then they have to be yours.
No, if I'm the one getting hostile, I'm the enemy. I'm the opposer. I'm not being I don't know if anybody opposes me. I don't.
Wow, this is riveting conversation.
Do you feel like you have any enemies?
No.
Do you feel like you are an enemy against anyone?
I don't have that much energy.
Oh, I could.
Do you think I am? You know me better.
I do, but
who is it?
We can't say it on the podcast.
Who is it?
Remember that boy that showed up on your time, and you said
he's not my enemy, but he better not come near me or my family. Oh, there's two of them. I can't stand him.
So there's two of them.
But I'm not actively opposing them.
So for me,
I'm not going to harm or weaken them.
No.
So they're not enemies by definition. So I have none. The end.
Look up the definition for adversary.
I know how to spell that.
I thought you were a good speller.
Adversary. I am. A-D-V-A. One's opponent. Well, it keeps.
I am highly offended.
Yeah. I knew how to spell it, but I didn't. One's opponent in a contest, conflict, or dispute. Davis beat his old adversary in the quarterfinals. I'd say I got some adversaries.
What is happening? I don't know that I have adversaries or enemies. I think I have stalkers, and I think I am a stalker.
There's you are a stalker.
People that I'm like, I wish no good things to them. I don't wish bad things to them, but I'm just like, what do you doing?
Don't wish bad things, but you wish no good things.
That's right. No, there's just those people from your past life
Who
that
are we talking about here?
that you just creep on. No, I actually really don't creep on him that much.
Oh.
I've kind of lost that.
Love and feeling.
Yeah. Here's a good question.
Oh.
This might be embarrassing, so I may have to edit this out. How many of you guys, I call it a scrub Facebook or a scrub account.
Rachel.
What?
That you shouldn't have one.
How many people has a scrub account? Raise your hands.
It's called fake. That's what the normal humans say.
But I'm not trying to catfish anybody. I'm not trying to, it's just for creeping purposes. I'm not trying to catfish.
Well, if I want to see somebody's, I'd just go to Andy's and look.
Well, Trey would tell me no. Trey would give me some biblical reason as to why I shouldn't be creeping on him anyway.
Well, why wouldn't you just get his phone while he's asleep?
I don't know his password. I barely know my password. He gets so aggravated with me when I'm like...
Andy's password is my password.
Okay, well, no. I don't know. Trey's is six numbers long.
Oh,
6.
Yeah, I couldn't.
And then he wants to get aggravated. I'm like, can you unlock your phone? He's like, can't you? And I'm like, no, I don't. I can't. What? The number to my phone, my PIN number to my debit card, my PIN number to my work computer, everything that's 4 digits is the same 4 digits. And it has been literally since I was 13.
I know.
So if you know me, steal my debit card, take my phone, you can get them in there. My kids, there's no privacy. Because I have the memory of a goldfish.
Do you know anybody that's ever been invited to a Botox party?
I was invited to a Botox party.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
I didn't either until I was invited. And I am telling you, if my husband wouldn't divorce me, I'd be going to get some lip filler.
That's different from Botox.
Well, it is, but it's still facial. Is it though?
Botox where you go like dead. You can't move.
Is Botox and lip filler
they're different.
The same. Oh, I didn't know that you were a
nurse. Sorry to disappoint.
Results can be similar.
Although
Botox does not add volume to the lips. Okay, well, then I don't want to go to a Botox party. I want to go to a lip filler party.
Are there such things?
I don't know, but if there was, I would want to go.
Excuse me. Everybody says I don't have a top lip, but look.
I don't have a top lip. Did they get rid of them?
No.
Okay, so here's my thing that I'm going to tell you. So I got pulled over 4 times. You know part of this story. 4 times for the same thing.
You told me I have to act interested.
I didn't know it was going to be so painful for you.
Like you said, I just start going off in La La Land and won't listen.
Yeah. If there is a sudden choppy clip in the podcast, it's because Sherry's suddenly like, shoo, Lord have mercy.
Like, door.
Yeah. Okay, we're back. So, I got pulled over 4 times for the same thing. Kind of. The first time I got pulled over because I had no inspection sticker or dead inspection sticker and my tags were dead. But I had renewed my tags, but I didn't realize how important it was to take your old tags off and put your new tags on. So he was very upset that I was riding around with tags that weren't assigned to my car. I didn't know it was a big deal. So he fussed at me for that. I didn't have my registration. I don't know where it's at. I don't really know those kind of things. So, and I had a busted windshield, and he informed me that I needed at least one new tire. So that day that I got pulled over the first time, I left and went and got 2 new tires because that's what the people at the tire place told me. I needed 2 new tires. Got 2 new tires that same day. Then I scheduled an appointment with Safelot to get my windshield put in, a new one put in. I can't talk suddenly. So they stood me up twice, telling me they said they were coming and then they didn't. And then they just showed up willy-nilly without me knowing they were coming, put a new windshield in. So between then times, I got pulled over again. Then I got the new windshield put in and I got pulled over. And then I got pulled over a fourth time for not having an inspection sticker. So I got really disturbed because I've never got my car inspected before. In my 30 years of life, I've never done it. And I just thought that should be Trey's job. And maybe that makes me sound like a loser pants, but I do. So we decided we were going to go get my car inspected together. We rode around to 6 different places.
You need to tell them what day of the month did you ride around on.
No, we went to 6 different places on one day to do it, and we couldn't find anywhere. And then I went by myself on the last day of the month. I didn't know that mattered. I went to 2 different places. The first place, he was very nice to me, and he just said, I don't have time today. Or no, the guy that does inspections wasn't there that day. I guess you probably have to have a stupid special certificate. I don't know.
You do?
So he wasn't there. I mean, look at my car. It runs. Put a sticker on it. Let's go. I don't understand the big deal. So then I went to Sheeler Motor Mile, the little quick one you're supposed to be able to go and get an oil change in 10 minutes and leave. I went there. And I was like, hey, I was just wondering if I could get an inspection sticker. And he was like, yeah. Do you want to just hang out here while we do it? Sure. I was like, how long is it going to take? And he was like, probably an hour, hour and a half. And I was like, oh, well, I'm on my lunch break, so that's not going to work for me. I'm sorry. Is there like another time I can come back? He's like, well, we don't do appointments. I was like, oh. I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. I've never got an inspection sticker before. And he was like, well, you don't go try to get one on the last day of the month. And I was like, does it matter? And I wasn't trying to be rude, but he was being rude to me. And I was like, does it matter what day of the month I come to get my car inspected? And he was like, yes, it does. Everybody's trying to get their car inspected at the end of the month. I said, well, my car inspection sticker has been dead since April 2020. Who knew that it was even needed to be done?
Only 2 years behind.
So, anyway, so now I have severe anxiety about getting my car inspected. It's still not inspected to this day. And this was the last day of February, and now it is March 20th. But my husband has fussed and fussed and fussed and fussed about me not having a car inspection sticker. Guess who got pulled over for having a dead inspection sticker? My husband.
That is so funny.
That is funny.
How dead is his?
I don't know. Dead? I don't know. A long time. Guess what's even funnier?
He got a ticket?
He did get a ticket, of course. No, it's even funnier than that. He went to get his car inspected today, and it failed inspection.
That's not funny. It's going to cost you money.
Because he needs I know, tires. He failed for tires. He needs new stinking tires. Do you know how expensive? And don't get me started on these freaking tires.
Nobody did. You did it yourself.
Well, I'm mad about it. He had to get this fancy Volkswagen car that has 19-inch low-profile tires that cost $1 million. So, yes, it's not funny, but it is funny. Because now they put a rejection sticker on his car.
Oh, my daddy always said you don't let him put it on there. He'll scrape it right off.
Oh, why don't you put it on there?
Because it brings attention to the cops, and you're supposed to only go to the garage and back home.
They didn't tell him that. They just told him he had 15 days to get it fixed. Well, now he looks like a super loser because I don't have an inspection sticker at all, but now he has a rejection sticker.
How did he tell you? Was he all like,
He was like, my car needs new tires. And I was like, oh, I said, so did they pass it for inspection? He was like, well, of course they're going to. We were doing this through text messages.
the whole thing is safety issue. That's why.
And he's like, yeah, of course they're going to. And I was like, okay. So then he called me like 15 or 20 minutes later, and I was doing something, so I didn't answer. And then he texted me, he was like, they failed my car. I was like, what a loser, you have a rejection sticker. That's my story.
That's pretty funny.
I can tell. You really thought so. That's very interesting and kind of funny. All right, you got something else to say?
I don't know. Let me go see what's on here. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It can wait.
No, mine's not exciting. You tell yours.
I mean, mine's not either. But it's funny, I think. I read an article this week that said if you weighed more than 300 pounds, that when and if you're cremated, you are at risk of starting a grease fire.
We saw that.
Where?
It was like, I don't know. But the mortuary thing, the crematory, was on fire.
Because of a grease fire.
Yeah.
Because somebody was
It was like
fat.
black smoke, and that means they're...
Yes. And then
Was we in Arizona when that happened?
I was never in Arizona.
Well, I meant me and Andy and Haley.
I don't know. I read it on Facebook. But they said that if you are weigh more than 350 pounds and you, or 350 pounds, and you catch, your grease starts catching fire when you're being cremated, they have to just turn it off and you pretty much just cremate yourself. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
I thought this would be...
I thought maybe you were going to say something like they were going to have to like chop off a couple legs or something. Then do them later. I don't know how it works.
We have met a new low.
What?
There you go. We'll just cremate that part later. I think it's illegal to dismember a dead body.
Well, I mean, you would do it at a joint, like not mean like.
We would chop your arms off, but not in a mean way.
I mean, but
plus, this part of my arm is not that fat.
I said leg.
Oh, legs.
Leg. Well, I know if you took off one of my legs, it'd lose some weight off my body.
Think about a name that you've been called that you don't like. Like, I'm going to tell my story and then maybe you'll come up with one.
Okay.
I had a patient one time. I called them and introduced myself as Rachel, the social worker with Kindred Hospice. And she insisted on calling me Kendra. She put my name in her phone as Kendra, even after I introduced myself multiple times, which would not be that big of a deal, except for my ex-fiance's wife. His name is Kendra.
That's funny.
Literally any other name but Kendra. I'd rather be called Bartholomew than Kendra. But today, I was walking up the hallway at one of the facilities that we go to, and I heard this lady yell. She's like, thank you so much. Thank you for all that you did. Well, I ain't done nothing. So I just didn't think nothing about it, and so I just kept going. And she kept yelling, Margaret, 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 Margaret. And I'm like, what is she talking to? And so there was a lady in a wheelchair, and she's like, I think she wants your attention. So I turned around, and I'm like, hi. And she's like, Margaret. And she's like running up the hallway, this little old lady. She's like, Margaret, I just want to tell you thank you so much for everything you've done for me today.
Have you ever seen her before in your
Never
life?
seen her before in my life. And I've said, I am so sorry, but I don't know what I've done for you today or ever. And she bust out laughing. She was like, oh my gosh, you're not who I thought you were. But she's like, you look just like this girl, Margaret. And I was like, okay, cool. And she was like, maybe she's down here. And I was like, okay, well, you have a good day. So we are walking out together. And we get to the door, and there's Margaret. Margaret is probably 6 foot tall, bleach blonde hair, and in scrubs. And I literally look like this. This is what I wore today. So I'm not sure how I was confused with Margaret.
And how tall are you?
I'm 5'2". So, there's my story. Do you have a story?
That's nice, Margaret.
I know. Oh my gosh. I have come up. It's not, I didn't invent this, but I have started a new nickname for Wayne. And it's the best nickname. If you have a teenager or a preteen, I don't know, he's 12, he'll be 13 in May. He loves to tell me the same story 18 times.
You call him Repeat?
I'm calling him Pete. For Pete and Repeat. And so he was on the ball field, and I'm like, come on, Pete. He wants to kill me.
That's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, so when you see him tomorrow or Wednesday, they're like, what's up, Pete? He'll love it. If you see Wayne out, call him Pete. Mm. All right. Do you have a funny story where you were called a name that wasn't Sherry?
Not really.
I'm carrying this. My back is broken from carrying this podcast.
Well, you knew I was grumpy all day. Sign it off from the Cornbread Studio.
Thanks for listening to the Cacklin Cornbread podcast.